true. Try to find someone, but not just anyone will do. It's hard to move on after what y'all put me through. I'll never find a woman half as good as two. No, I won't. Try to find enough who will make me sweat. Searching and searching, haven't found her yet. Nothing.
All right, welcome to the Texas Hemp Show. This is podcast number 121 this week on the show, as we are recording here on the middle of the first show of the month of April of 2023 is this show on the week here, podcast 121. And we'll jump right into it. We're listening to the groovy tunes of Texas blues legend Chris Duarte joining us here in the Texas Hemp Show podcast this week on the program. I'm a big fan of Chris's and met Chris, been very familiar with his music since I was a wee teenager myself, and big fan, and reached out just through some mutual friends of his that are few friends with me. We got the interview. He's got an album coming out. Joining us this week on the Texas Hemp Show podcast is none other than blues legend and guitarist Chris Duarte on the Texas Hemp Show podcast. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure being on it, man.
Well, we got my audio. How's his audio? I'll bring him in. Let me get you. There you are. How are you, man?
I got it. I'm doing good, man.
Well, good to have you on and be a part of this podcast. You know, we've had been very familiar with your music over the years, and we both have some mutual friends there with Daryl and Shane. And you know, I know Shane's been doing a lot of booking with music out there at the Lone Star Bar. He occasionally runs some marketing with me for events that he throws out there. And you know, about a year or two ago, he said, "Man, I want to get Chris Duarte to come play out here." And you know, he just mentioned your name, and it sounds like you guys got rolled across paths eventually, or somehow there. And with Daryl and you know, Daryl and Jennifer, I know both of them really well. I have had a history with them, and really glad to see you kind of came into the fold with working with these guys, and so it's good to see and hear you back on the scene, my friend.
Yeah, Shane's a great guy, and yeah, we eventually did hook up. We did like a gig out there. I think it was a Lone Star Bar out there. Jennifer couldn't make it, but Doc was there, and me and Shane got up to jam and stuff, and it just, you know, fun had by all, and it was good to be out there, you know. And I'm also playing a gig later on this month out at the Lucky Rabbit later on out in Jonestown. But yeah, man, I mean, Shane's a great guy, and just, you know, playing around Austin, because I don't get to play around Austin very much, especially as the Chris Duarte group. It's normally me, like playing what I did with Shane, sort of like a solo capacity, playing with other guys, or it's with Beth Lee, you know, my girlfriend's band, Beth Lee and the Breakups. And she actually helped write 6 of the 12 songs on the CD. So she's a great songwriter and, you know, singer and lyricist in her own right. And I was glad that she helped me out on this album.
You know, Chris, I remember that you had a gig up here. I live in office in Round Rock, and though I am an Austin kid at heart, but I remember I didn't remember it until Saturday night. But either you had a gig Friday or Saturday in Belton, and I was telling myself for a week or two that I was going to maybe try to make that gig, but I didn't remember it until it was either that night, later that night. How was that gig with Beth up there?
Oh yeah, that was a good gig. Yeah, we like playing Fire Street. That's at Fire Street out in Belton.
Yeah,
pizza place, sort of a family sort of place, and you know, it just gets a good little crowd. And we're like a little added attraction over there. They've got a nice stage up there for the groups. But I like playing it. You know, I like playing with Beth because it's such a different gig musically from my routine. You know, so I have to really work on my Americana chops. I don't have to play so much country anymore, and there's some blues, and so it's a lot of fun playing with Beth. I've been playing with her now for about 5-6 years now.
Well, that's really cool. I want to see that show too. Maybe I can go out to Jonestown if you two are playing out there in a week or so. Maybe I could try to make that.
We do have a gig. I think it's the last Friday of this month, the 28th, I think. Yeah, 28th, I think
Okay.
we're playing out there.
Okay. So
But we got some
28th.
other stuff coming up.
Yeah, you do. And I was on the website. We'll share that here in a short minute. But yeah, good to have you on. Over the years, I've been publishing magazines in Texas for 20 years now, and for a long time I owned Weird Magazine. But then I did own and publish Rockstar Magazine from 2014 all the way to 2018 or 19, and it was that period I probably interviewed 400 or 500 artists in the Austin music scene during that time. A lot of guys. Monty was on the cover. I didn't meet up with you. You would have been a great cover on Rockstar if I'd have crossed paths with you. Were you out of town for a little while a few years ago?
I just moved back into town at the end of 2015. But yes, I did. I lived out in Atlanta from 2005 to 2015, almost to 2016. So yeah, that's probably why you missed me, because I had pretty much dropped out of the scene, in Austin. But I was still playing the country, still touring the world.
Yeah. You haven't stopped a beat, I guess, all these years, and so to hear your name back in town again was like, whoa, that's a blast from the past.
I thought he was dead. Really, Chris Duarte? No. That's the joke I make all the time. But it's good to be back in Austin. Austin's a very competitive town musically, and it's also a great town to get noticed in. And plus, all my peers and stuff that live in this town, and getting to see the new talent that's been coming into town. It's been really a nice experience. Austin's one of the great musical towns in the United States.
Oh, absolutely. And I've almost got to look up my own old Rockstar. I wanted to look up Rockstar on Issue, Carl, just to remind myself some of the artists that I had on that is. But obviously I know Omar Vallejo was on there, but a lot of guys that made the cover. Tyrone Vaughn and Malford Mulligan were on there. I had Jennifer B was on a cover, but South Austin Moonlighters, Jackie Walker, Nathan Olivares, Ulrich Ellison, a lot of Andy McIntyre, a lot of mid to old to new artists,
right?
But even Dale and Guy Forsyth and as well as Monty made the cover of Rockstar, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So I'm glad we got this opportunity to interview you recently. You're going to be profiled in my new magazines, the Texas Hemp Reporter, covering cannabis and medicinal aspects of CBD and health and wellness. So my new magazine is statewide, and we're glad to get you an interview. We got you coming out in our April issue that comes out next week. I understand you recently signed with was it Pro Vogue Records?
Pro Vogue Records, right, under the umbrella of Mascot.
Tell us about this and the new album that you got coming out that's coming out on the 14th next week.
Okay, I actually was signed by Mascot Records or Pro Vogue probably about 5 or 6 years ago. They signed me, and this is just about a little after I had moved back to Austin. I'd left Shrapnel or Bluesboro International, and so Ed came in. Ed owns Mascot, and he wanted me. And he goes, I said, well, what do you want? And he goes, well, I want like a Chris Duarte blues album. And I was like, I don't know. I said, okay, I'll think about it. Because there was no advance, no time limit or anything like that. He just wanted me to be ready. Whenever I'm ready, he's there. And, I wanted to stretch out and do some other things musically. But, as time went on and I wasn't getting it together, and I was like, I'm starting to disappear. And that's just like death to an artist trying to stay relevant. You got to get some product out at least every other year. So I told myself, get in the studio, do something. And fortunately, all the stars lined up. I got Dennis Herring to produce it, who was also the producer of Texas Sugar Strat Magic, my first record. And thank goodness for Ed and his patience that stuck with me through all those years of doing nothing and getting ready to do this album. So I'm real happy. The album is really nice because it's got this raw, organic feeling, just the way Dennis Herring likes to put things together. He likes to record everything and keep everything because you never know what he can stick in. And he'd much rather go for a live performance as live as possible instead of doing the usual, let's get the bass and drums first, and then we'll come back and re-record the guitar, and then we'll do vocals later. I mean, I just really like working with Dennis, and it's been 20 years since I worked with him, and then all the stories he has. But I mean, he's just a supreme. I consider him one of the better producers out there, and so I was real lucky to get him. So I'm really excited about it. It's been getting some good plays. The video was released February 2nd. We just released Half as Good as Two. I think the third song's going to come out on the 14th, Give Me Your Love. And things are going good. We're getting some good response up there. So, and I start touring May 3rd. I'm hitting the Dallas Guitar Show, hitting San Antonio, hitting Houston. Then we're going out on the road doing the Southeast, going up the East Coast, New York State, Ohio, Summerfest, the Midwest, and then we go out to the West Coast in July. So it's going to be, I'm generally gone from May 3rd till August 28th. I'm gone.
Man, oh man, I hope you got a wound up Energizer battery somewhere tucked away back there. You're going to be busy for a couple of months there.
This is what I do. This is what I love to do, getting out on the road and playing. I have a good routine that I get into. So I'm really looking forward. This is like the old days, doing those 8-week tours. That's the old days. And I'm really doing it. Yes, I am a little bit older, but I think I can do it because I've got a good routine. So I'm the only thing I'm worried about is just if the van could stay together. So I'm getting the van together because she's an old van. She's got a lot of miles on her. So I'm hoping she'll stay together and she can do the tour.
Well, we're excited to see you getting back out there and to hear your music once again. The album title is "Ain't Giving Up." Can you speak to this a little and why the title?
Sure.
That's
actually I'm sorry. That's actually a song that Beth Lee wrote, and I thought the title of it said it all. It's I'm still not giving up. I mean, it's been 5 or 6 years since I've had an album, but people might have thought I dropped out, but no, I'm not giving up. I'm still here. I'm not giving up on my dreams. I'm not giving up on my hopes for world domination, being the best player I could be. But, I just love getting out there and playing. So I just feel real lucky I've been able to do what I do for more than 30 years. So yeah, I ain't giving up.
Absolutely. And, I mean, Chris, gosh, man, I hate to date myself here, but I mean, I remember hearing you, as early in the early 90s and being a big fan, growing up, in the Austin scene. My family's got a musical background. My father's a musician. You were one of those staples, in that scene, especially early 90s into the mid 90s. You were right. You were right there with all the guys. I mean, and you have to have a huge fan base that's my age.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I'm getting some younger cats, but yeah, a lot of my fan base is right around my age. It's generally from like the mid 30s to all the way up into the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do get some young kids coming out and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm just real fortunate for all the fans that come out and see me.
Well, it's just great to have you back and hear that you're back in the scene. And I would have had you on Rockstar, man, in a heartbeat, but I was happy to get word of you and getting your music out there. Tell us a bit about your influences and just what does it take to be in this business for 30 plus years, and can you speak to just some of your influences and who inspired Chris Duarte?
Sure. I mean, of course, I grew up with the Beatles, loving the Beatles when I was young. When my brother got a guitar, we all had the Beatles books that we learned all the songs. That helped me learn the chords on the guitar. And then, of course, being from San Antonio, where I'm originally from, that was more of a rockin' metal town. So I got to see a lot of those groups, back when I was, 15, 16, and 17. Well, actually, no, 17, I was already living in Austin. But anyway, I saw a lot of the metal. Black Sabbath was my other love. I love Black Sabbath. And then my choices changed. I used to work in a restaurant that had jazz bands. And I sort of changed when I was 14, doing that, being a busboy in a restaurant with live music. And So I tried to be a jazzer, but I am not a jazz player in any stretch of the imagination. I'm a true hack at jazz. But I mean, I just loved it. I love the melodicism of it. So, I try to paint with colors and stuff. John Coltrane's like my number one influence. But I mean, John McLaughlin's my favorite guitar player. But I have so many guitar players I love, Jeff Beck, Stevie, Jimi Hendrix, all the Kings, Hubert Sumlin. It goes on and on, Mike Stern, it really literally goes on and on for different reasons. And you just have to be, just have to want it. If you want to get in the music business, I mean, being able to write a good song, that's a plus. Having some kind of innate talent, that's a plus too. But you just have to want it to persevere, because sometimes it is persevering and enduring, because it can get pretty tough. But I mean, it's, I've loved it, even though times have gotten really tough and there's been really I've made bad decisions, along my way in life, but we all do, and we try to get over them. And I'm still here. Like I said, I think I'm really lucky that I've been doing what I love to do for the last 25, 30 years. But get with the metronome, work with the metronome, work on writing original songs, and just hold on to those dreams, man. I know that sounds cliche, but it really does work.
Yeah. Well, we're both blessed, and I've been publishing magazines now for 22 years. I've been in the media space for 30 years, and I love what I do, Chris. And it really, it's not work when you love, what your career path is, and it's a good thing to, when you speak to that, when you love what you do, it's a good thing to be. To makes it easy to be in there for such a longevity.
Exactly.
I know a few years back I checked in with you on my website. I think we did a story on rockstarmagazine.com, but it was when you got with John and Brandon for that reunion show at Antone's.
Yes.
You ever talk to those guys, or was that kind of the reunion back then in 2016?
Well, yeah, it was a reunion back then. It was great to do that, the 25th year anniversary.
That's right. That's what it was.
John really doesn't play out that much, because he's turned his career now. Now he's a journalist. He's been working for a online political magazine for a while, and he loves it. I mean, he plays a few gigs here and there, but John's still one of the best bass players I've ever played with. His musicality is off the charts. And then Brandon's actually on the new album. I got Brandon to play on this album. Good. So I mean, that's why it sounds so good, because you get a good drummer, that's a good start.
Well, you had a birthday not too long ago, I understand.
Yes, I did, back in February.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much, Russell. Thank you so much.
Well, so you've got some dates coming up. What's your next date or two? Because I understand, and I don't care if I catch a show with Beth. That seems like I'm not going to be able to see you on the road once you get out of Texas. Where's the next, for folks that want to catch you in person here in Central Texas in April?
Well, I
think you got a few dates.
Yeah, I've got my calendar right here in front of me. Let's see. I just had these jam, like today. I have this blues jam that I'm part of the house band. We played down in the drafting room down on Rainey Street. That's right there, right by the Van Zant Hotel. It's right at the beginning of the strip. Let's see. I've got a gig.
What date was the rainy one? What was the rainy date?
The Rainy Street gigs are every Wednesday.
Oh.
Every Wednesday from 7 to 11.
So hold on. You're telling me tonight I can go see you down there?
Yeah, you can see me tonight, 7 to 11.
Well,
I'll be starting a little late tonight. But
well, we're holding you back a little. Well, that's good. No, maybe I'll see you down there. Fire off a couple more local gigs for us.
Okay, yeah, okay. So every Wednesday there. Let's see. I've got a gig with Beth out at Fire Street on the 21st. There we go. The 21st, I'm playing out there.
Okay.
I do have a gig with Beth again down at the Little Longhorn, Jenny's Little Longhorn, on the 27th, and that is from 6 to 8 p.m. Fire Street is from 6 to 9. Let's see. I have an in-store promoting the record at Waterloo Records. That will be April 24th. I'll have my A team on that one. I'll have Tom Breckline and Jessica Will playing. Jessica Will actually plays on the album. She's a bass player, great bass player. And then I have a gig that old Doc helped me get. It's the Lucky Rabbit out there in Jonestown at 9:30 on the 29th of April.
And that's out at the Lucky Rabbit there in Jonestown. And that used to be another venue name, but it's now the Lucky Rabbit, I think. And
right, exactly. I can't remember what it was because I played it a couple times.
But I know where it is because it's right across the street from the Lone Star, which is right there too. What was did you say the Little Longhorn was May 27th or April 27th?
No, April. All these are April 27th. Just consider me gone from May to August. I'm gone.
Okay.
Or May to September, actually. I'm gone.
Chris, what day is the 27th on?
27th is a Thursday.
That's a Thursday. Okay. Just making sure that wasn't Chicken Shit Bingo Day because that's really fun.
That's a huge thing. Yeah. No, that's
Sunday gig.
Yeah, Sunday. No, I don't have the Sunday gigs. But that's 6 to 8 the 27th. Yes, I love the Chicken Shit Bingo. That's a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, that is fun when you go out there and drink cold Lone Stars and catch the chickens. Right. Well, this is fantastic. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll just come back and wrap things up with you and get you out of here. But I want to come back, and we'll play a little clip of a recent music video that you have.
You got it.
We want to fire that off, but stay tuned. We'll be back with more Chris Duarte after this. You can check him out online at duarte.rocks is the website. Texas Hemp Show. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, this is Cheech Marin, and you're listening to the Texas Hemp Show.
Why take a chance with your hemp grow? Join Hemp Plan and avoid the risk. TPS Labs' exclusive hemp monitoring program. Hemp Plan members get one-on-one consulting from knowledgeable consultants who are available when you need them most. If you want to take the guesswork out of growing hemp and focus on what matters most, call TPS Lab today and ask for your free consultation. Take the next step to a successful harvest. Visit tpslab.com or call today at 956-383-0739.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and you're listening to the Texas Hemp Show.
We took the best journalists from politics, health, innovations, cuisine, business, travel, agriculture, and then we put weed in it. Welcome to Weed and Whiskey News. Weed and Whiskey News. News with a twist.
Do you qualify for medical marijuana? Texas allows medical-grade products with THC. If you have a diagnosis of PTSD, neuropathy of any kind, including diabetic, any cancer or seizure disorder, Dr. A at Good Earth MMJ Clinic will help. You believe in cannabis's medical benefits, as do we. VA veterans with PTSD do not fear, as your benefits are protected with a Dr. A's prescription in Texas. Please visit goodearth210.com for all details and book an appointment. Next day appointments available. We're here to get you well, not high. That's goodearth210.com.
The Texas Hemp Reporter is available free at over 1,000 CBD and smoke shops across Texas. McAllen, Houston, Austin, Dallas, Lubbock, and San Antonio. Texas lawmakers will be in session this year to improve or alter laws on cannabis products. So stay tuned and informed this legislative season with the Texas Hemp Show podcast and the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. Would you like to host the Texas Hemp Show podcast at your business or special event? Now booking live broadcasts from your location with our new demo vehicle, the Texas Green Machine. Email Russell at TexasHempReporter@gmail.com. Now back to the show with your host, Russell Dowden.
Welcome back to our guest, birthday. They're joining us here live on the program. Just a clip from the new video that he was telling us about, and Nobody But You is the new video that just came out. I believe you said, what, February, Chris?
Yeah, February 2nd.
Yeah, February 2nd. This is the latest video. You can check it out on YouTube. Just search up Chris Duarte. The new album coming out April 14th. You can pre-order that right now. The new album, Ain't Giving Up, available on LP, CD, and digital. And I just looked him up as well on Spotify because I use Spotify a lot for our music here at the show. And you can always follow him on Spotify. But how can people support you, Chris, to get this new album, my friend? I want to go see you at Waterloo and pick up a CD.
Yeah, man, definitely. It'll be down there. I'll probably have some at my shows. That way you can get an autograph. Also, you get an autograph at Waterloo Records. Let's see. Yeah, I'm on all the major streaming platforms, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, whatever it is, I'm probably on it because my label's really good. They've got me out there. In fact, I've been noticing on some of the digital jukebox, the new cuts are already on the digital jukeboxes. That's something really? I like to do. I like to go into the clubs when they have a digital jukebox. I like to see if I'm on it. And pretty much 9 out of 10, I'm on there.
That's cool to go look at this. Next time I'm in a jukebox, I'm gonna have to look up Chris Duarte.
Yeah. It's just my first 2 records that are on there, but still, it's still on there. I'm on there.
They're still on. Even the first couple of records are on there.
It's 26 years ago. 27 years.
Well, Chris, I just appreciate you spending some time and giving us some time of your day. I know you got to get ready for that Wednesday gig this evening at Rainey Street. What's the name of the venue down there at Rainey?
The Drafting Room.
The Drafting Room. I may try to bring the girlfriend down there and come see you tonight.
Sounds good.
What time do you get going over there?
We get going at 7. The best time to see me is like from 7 to the beginning because I'm in the house group. House group plays like 30-40 minutes at the beginning, and then it's just all the other cats get up to jam. So you might see me like in the course of the evening, you might not. It depends how many people are there. But that's the best time to see me is the beginning of the night.
Wow, very, very cool. And you're there at Rainey at the Drafting Room every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And then Waterloo Records, guys, April 24th. Another show was April 29th. I didn't remember the venue. Where was that?
29th is Lucky Rabbit out in Jonestown.
Lucky Rabbit, yeah. Yeah.
And I have 2 shows with Beth. I have the 21st in Belton at Fire Street and the 27th at Jenny's Little Longhorn from 6 to 8.
6 to 8. That's right. All right. Well,
and there's no cover for that show either. Yeah, you can come down that.
No cover on those. That's a Saturday, the 20 or the Thursday show, 6 to 8.
Yeah, Thursday show, right?
Yeah, that's a great slot right there. I may come down there and see you on that show as well.
Yeah,
but
man.
I definitely want to come down and say hi and support you. We're happy to have you featured in the magazine. The new April issue drops in the streets around Texas next week of the Texas Hemp Report. That's in CBD stores and smoke shops around the state of Texas. Thank you, Chris Duarte. Check his music out online, guys, at duarte.rocks is the website. And we've been fans of Chris and known Chris for many, many years. And happy to have you on our programming and get you a plug this week. We wish you great success on that tour and the new album, my friend.
Thank you so much, Russell, for everything you've done and for being there all these years. And thank you, everybody that supports all the CBD rights and all that stuff. Let's get this good medicine out, people. It's good for people, man. And be responsible with it. Remember that. Be responsible.
That's right. Thanks a million, Chris. Appreciate you on the show, and we'll see you tonight, my buddy.
Okay, we'll see you tonight. Later, Russell.
All right, take care. There he goes. All right, Chris Duarte joining us here this week, spending a little time out of his afternoon to come on here and talk a little bit with us about the new album. Ain't Giving Up is the new CD coming out next Thursday, I believe, on the 14th next week here, and April 14th, the album making its debut. Again, sometimes we have musicians on the program. It's not often, but when we do, we like to cover what they're working on and always supporting artists. Been a big fan of Chris's for many, many years. So very excited about the new album that he's got. Check his music out online, guys. Stay tuned. This is going to wrap podcast number 121. And stay tuned. Next show will be Lisa Hilton from Implication will be on the show here in about 3 days. We're going to release that podcast in a few days. She's going to be on tomorrow. So I'm Russell. He's Carl. We'll check you guys later. And check out the tunes there with Chris Duarte. I'm going to go check him out tonight myself down there at the drafting room on Rainy. Take care, guys. Texas Hemp Show.
I'm a bad boy too.